This conference will now be recorded.
No. Untitled Town Board will hold a public meeting beginning at 7 p.m. on Monday, August 30th, 2021 at Town Hall at 4058 County Road Ed. You can also join the meeting by go to meeting. We have a quorum present. Meeting was posted at Town Hall and on the website. Call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the flag pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have the minutes of the August 16th meeting in your packet.
Move approval.
Second. Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to approve the minutes of August 16th as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
We have closed session. We're gonna pass those around. I grabbed food, sorry.
Wasn't it?
No, it wasn't just food. Don't worry about it, it's probably mine. I just
I'll move the approval, and if you want them to stay closed, and just keep the minutes closed.
Motion by Duplay, second by Anders to approve the minutes and keep them closed until matters resolved. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Finance report approval of bills.
We received our final tax settlement.
From the county.
Yep, so that's all done.
I'll move the approval of checks 34876 through 34894 be paid.
Motion by Duplay, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Anders to approve checks 34,876 through 34,894 be paid. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have your unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,737,438.76. And you have August per diems through last Friday.
Move approval of per diems as presented.
Motion by Anders, second by Fronger to approve the per diems as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Last Thursday, the Treasurers Association had a district meeting, and one of the top, I attended it through Zoom. And the reason I wanted to, because they were talking about the ARPA funding and just to get some ideas. And unfortunately, there wasn't much. The final ruling still isn't out there. So nothing,
Have any idea when the final ruling will be out?
in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
And like they did mention like fire trucks and EMS vehicles. that is only covered if you have lost revenue, in which I had done that calculation. Unfortunately, we don't have the lost revenue. So I think I had talked about the fire truck last time we had that meeting. So that wouldn't be an option. You know, there's one thing that if you want to remodel the town hall to make it bigger for social distancing, that would be covered. Just
Yeah.
little something. But that's all. I mean, nothing.
Anything new on collections, debts?
Well, Vicky sent out letters and I had to wait 30 days after she sends the letter out. It's all set up. I was in there today playing with it. I couldn't enter anything because what she gave me wasn't 30 days out yet, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just waiting to see if she gets any payments.
So then we'll have a system in place that once it's 30 days old, you'll put it in for collections as we go forward.
Yep.
And how far back can you go?
I
5
think she
years? seven?
said 6 years, if I remember, yeah. So I told her to start working on the older ones, so
Okay.
we can get those out there.
Yeah,
But she gave me June, with the batch, her first batch was from June.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next item is public concerns, public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that's not a specific agenda item. Anyone? No one. Any road right-of-way permits?
I have 3 here. If you want to pass those over to Chris. Dan obviously is not here yet, but he recommended all 3 for approval.
Okay,
I'll let you say what they are, I guess.
I saw this. The foundation in this house today.
Y'all from the same? Or what?
no.
Different
2,
locations.
3, 2 are from Wisconsin Power and Light, 1 is Alliant.
And different locations.
You saw that one?
No, this is the one we didn't see.
I would, excuse me, I would move approval of the 3, 2 from Alliant, or for WP&L, and then the last one from Alliant.
Second. Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve the road right-of-way permits presented for Wisconsin Power and Light and Alliant Energy.
I'm gonna pass those down so I can read the addresses off for the record.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
So just for the record, the Wisconsin Power and Light ones were new service at 2214 Wooded Ridge Trail and at 2531 Bass Road. And
Right.
then the Alliant Energy one is
Let's hope.
4282 Vilas Hope Road.
Right.
Okay.
So moving on to Plan Commission recommendations. First one is Dwayne Swalheim applicant. Swalheim 2011 Revocable Trust landowner North Star Road seeking concept plan approval for phased commercial development. And
The plan that he just passed around tonight is different than what's in your packet, so you'll want to refer to that. People that are watching, I'm going to pull up the plan that we had, which is close but not quite.
mentions on lot 3 changed in lot 4. Steve, same.
4 lots instead of 6, looks like.
The change is where we put in retention ponds. We put those in.
And
And then
show
the
the
west,
stormwater easement area.
yes. And then the west boundary, they redid the road boundaries there. I guess they goofed up on the first one. I don't understand what the difference with, the road situation. I don't understand it, but they had to redo it. Looks to me like the first one, they had it to the middle of the road, didn't they? Or something like that. What it looks.
This one that shows the whole right of way being dedicated to the town.
Yeah.
The other one didn't.
Okay.
The Plan Commission recommended approval of the concept plan with land division for 4 lots to start with easement spelled out and a deed restriction and dedication for half of the 66 feet of right of way all along North Star Road.
I would move approval of the Plan Commission's motion.
Second. Motion by Williams, second by Dupuy to accept the Plan Commission's recommendation. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
So now his concept plan has been approved by the town. He needs to apply for the zoning changes at the county.
Yes.
And then that all needs to go back to the Plan Commission and come back to you.
Yeah, that's already started that.
Know what's
Yeah.
left.
Chris, I got a personal question. Don't want to stir the pot,
Okay,
but did you, the road that comes down there, North Star, did the town pay for that? But I got to pay for mine. What's the difference? I'm gonna make that then.
we paid for the North Star going down to the first 90-degree corner.
Yeah,
And I believe the reason that we paid for that is to spur the development along of the commercial property.
okay,
Because with the condition that the road was in, it wasn't suitable
okay. All right.
for the traffic. So in order for us to get people interested in your property, we paid for the road to go that far.
Oh, now if you'd pay for mine, I'd be more interested.
Sorry, we got you there.
Oh,
I don't think so. All right.
all right, thank you.
Next item was Helen Galerwitz, Revocable Living Trust applicant landowner on Gale Way, seeking a rezone of 37.93 acres from FP 35 to FP 1, dividing the ag land into 2 separate parcels. And the Plan Commission's motion was to approve the rezone of the 37.93 acres from FP 35 to FP 1 to be divided into 2 parcels shown on the proposed CSM, noting that there are no development rights on the newly created parcels. And there,
So they can buy development rights? You said there aren't any left, but
they don't have any, and it's not zoned for development at this point, so they would have to buy and ask for a rezone. Questions?
I'll move approval of Plan Commission's recommendations.
Motion by Dupuy, is there a second?
Second.
second by Williams to accept the Plan Commission's recommendation. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is Don Vinny applicant, Vinny Acres LLC, the landowner. This is at 1834 Shadle Road, seeking a rezone of 15 plus or minus acres from RR4 and RM8 to RR1 for 1.8 acres and RR2 for 2.056 acres and FP1 for 10.459 acres to create one new residential lot. And
And that's in lot 3.
The two original current lots are
Lot
that
1 and
dotted
2.
line.
Okay. And then lot 3 is the next one that's just,
That goes to FP1.
okay.
So it's not zoned for a residential lot, it's farming because it's less than 35 acres, so it went to FP1. The Plan Commission's recommended the approval of rezoning the 1.837 acres from RR4 and RM8 to RR1 and the 2.056 acres from RM8 to RR2 and the 10.459 acres from RR4 and RM8 FP1, noting that there is still one unused RDU with the property. And this kind of cleans up a really odd shaped lot that had been there before. That dotted line that you see, former lot line, cleans that up.
So 3 is this big area.
Yes,
Okay.
reverts back to farmland. This building here, as noted, is to be removed.
Okay. Then I would move approval of the motion
From the
From
Plan
the-
Commission.
Plan Commission as stated. Yes.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to accept the Plan Commission's recommendation. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
When are you on at the county?
I think it's October. I believe it's October.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Next item, discuss and consider a request to post no parking signs on BB near the Koshkonong Creek Bridge.
Where did this come from? Did somebody,
The resident
Jerome,
request is, he looks like this gentleman.
I put that in, I emailed Kim on the 24th, so I was reminded that duck hunting season is coming up. And I've lived here for 10 years, and the last 3 years, it has been traffic parking on Koshkonong Creek. Is there any chance I could get that map pulled up that I sent Kim? And I apologize for that. But the last 3 years that we've been here, and especially with COVID last year, there have been trucks lined up on County Road BB facing east to get into Koshkonong Creek there for duck hunters. So I'll, once this map's up, I'll kind of show you what's going on. But it's right where BB is heading east to Deerfield to 73 out there. And it goes around that corner. There's that passing lane for people turning into, whether it be American or Baxter. So it's with the increased traffic there and duck hunters getting there from dawn till dusk, it seems to be a problem, especially with, people arriving in trucks and vehicles and pulling kayaks off their trucks and boats off their trucks to get into that creek during the dawn and dusk. I feel like that's a safety issue for the residents in that area with some of the blind the blind driveway. So there's a driveway right here, Baxter Road's back here. There's a house here, and then this is Koshkonong Creek right here.
Yep.
So these vehicles, the last couple years at least, these vehicles park on this side of the street, and I've seen them 12 deep parked there so they can have access to this creek down in here. Now, I was requesting that if we can get no parking signage from here till here, that would alleviate any of that blind corner as you're coming around. Because all people see when they're going east on Cottage Grove Road here during duck hunting season is these line of vehicles here. I feel if we put no parking signs here, they're just gonna swap the side of the road and start parking on this side to get into Koshkonong Creek. So,
Are you saying they're parked on the right of way?
no, they're not parked. Is it the, well, it'd be just off the shoulder of the road.
Right.
So I guess that would be the right of way.
In the grass.
Yeah,
In the grass,
grass.
yeah.
And the gravel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so like I said, they park there from dawn till dusk. And they're getting in their vehicles, you know, during those twilight hours. Especially during the early mornings during fall is the fog is rolling in off those bottom lands. So not a great condition for that. The people that are watching the Eagles, that's really not a big deal because they usually park off Baxter up here and watch them. Every once in a while, they'll be parking back here off American to watch the Eagles. But it's just when we get to the fall and those duck hunters start lining up. And every year, it's been more and more and more. With this corner here, there's all this vegetation here. This becomes blind. Coming off of here, it's kind of hard to see vehicles coming westbound on BB with all that vehicle traffic parked along the side there. We have tried to talk to DNR about putting up no access signage there because that would obviously nip that in the bud. But that's supposedly not something that they can do for that access there.
Then it's a county road.
It is a county road, so I have talked to, so first I talked to the sheriff in town, Jennifer, or the chief Jennifer in town, Grafton, and then talked to Dane County Department of Transportation. They told me to contact the clerk, contacted Kim. Here we are.
So what I learned that I did not know before is that no parking signs on a county road are by town ordinance.
Really?
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 That's
The county will put up the signs if you go ahead and approve this, because they don't want our crews working on their highways, shoulders. The town has to buy the signs, they supply the posts.
They supply the
Any
post.
comments from Bill?
I didn't ask him. We have other no parking areas that are not adopted by ordinance, so that might be another thing we need to, if all of our no parking are supposed to be by ordinance, we might have to try to catch them all at the same time. Because this one will have to be by ordinance for sure.
Even like the ones by my house?
So when they park on the south side of BB,
Correct.
where are they entering the creek?
There's a bridge right here, or
Yeah.
culvert, or whatever you want to call it. And they enter in through that grassy area. That's down through that vegetation.
On the south side?
Yeah, so I'm assuming they're getting into private property when they're doing that.
I
But
have another map I pulled up just to show where property lines are there. So you can, this is from Access Dane. Oops.
Right.
So you can kind of see where the property lines are. You can
Yeah.
see where the road right of way is. And so this is the creek. So that if they're parking in here, this would be road right away and this would actually be private property, but it looks like that's trees.
Yes. So they're parking on that south side of the road, entering the creek on the south.
down there, correct.
So if we make them park on the north side, then they're gonna have to cross BB.
Well, if we make them park on the north side, they'll just put in down here too. So they'll park up here. They'll park wherever they can.
Has any landowner right there, is that landowner ever said there's a problem?
I'm a landowner over there and
I'm saying right there where
Oh,
you're saying
these
they're
ones?
parking.
no, because they don't park here. That's always here. And I think this is owned by the Cottage Grove School District or Monona Grove School
No.
District now?
Right.
DNR, isn't it?
No,
Ring.
ring.
Right.
Is it this area here? I
Yep.
thought I saw something. when I was looking at the access day map. Okay, so I was wrong.
Barbara Ring owns that.
Okay.
So you're proposing that we get all the stop signs on all the blue areas as well, right?
No parking
Or
area
no parking?
on both sides of the road.
Yeah, so I was thinking from both sides of the road, from American to about here.
From American,
American, yeah, American's back
heading
up here.
all the way past Baxter Road.
Yeah,
You know, it's funny, and you guys are saying this should be done too?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
I have to go by there all the time. I don't ever remember
It's
seeing
not,
any
it's
cars
not
parked there.
duck season though.
I know, but I don't
yeah,
remember.
that's a problem. And I don't know if it's because of COVID or what, with people having all this time on their hands, but last year was ridiculous. There was 12 deep. I mean, there were cars to here.
Where did you say to end on the east end?
On the east end, I was thinking here where this driveway is,
The driveway.
because that kind of gets you around the corner.
I mean, I haven't driven at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I haven't seen that.
9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and then it's not so bad, but it's like I said, the fog in the morning, when they're getting out of their vehicles at dawn or getting in them at dusk.
Has there ever been an accident there?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, actually, there have been. I'm not sure it was a dog counter, but there's been a big accident. At least one right at the corner of Baxter and Cottage Grove Road.
Well, are you saying because somebody was parked there?
I'm not sure if it probably was not because of dog hunters
Right.
there, but it's not the safest intersection to start with. We've been there since 1976.
And this, like I said, this hasn't come to issue for me until last year when I said, like I said, there was 12 trucks there last year.
You're saying over how long a period of time?
Well, October through December, whenever duck hunting season is. I mean,
Yeah,
I know the early ones are next week, which, we're in summer, it's probably not a big deal, but come October when we start getting fog rolling in, especially those lowlands. Not a great scenario, because I usually leave pretty early in the morning for what I do. And you go by there and there's people getting in and out of their vehicles and there's fog and, there's people coming here 55, there's people going there 55, there's that passing lane there. I just don't think
It's a fast corner.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great situation, so.
That's what it was designed for.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Kim, how much does Dan pay for a parking sign?
$40
$40?
per sign.
I wouldn't think that would be what to base your decision on.
Can
how
we-
much of a space can you do it?
I don't know what spacing has to be. Can we ask Jen Grafton to run accident reports for that area?
From American to down through that corner.
Yeah,
To the driveway.
yeah.
For what time period?
I mean, I would want at least 5 years. If she could go further than that, I guess I would be interested in seeing what 10 years said. If there have been accidents or not
I've been at BB and Baxter myself, so before.
out here
Yeah, oh yeah.
on EMF.
Right.
Yeah, but that wasn't because of anything down here.
Or I can't say that it was.
No. They've been spent too much time at Doubledays.
No, actually, no, it was not post-bar time at all. This was during.
There's
So you were there.
definitely-
No, just,
There's definitely been people who've lost it on that curve.
So a secondary thing to this is everyone that comes in here, they end up on my property trespassing
And
and her
ours.
property trespassing.
wait a minute now, on the creek?
Yeah, they take the creek back and then they cross over our land berms that were made, when they made that creek or where they made that drainage ditch to get into, because I have the big back ponds back there that the eagles kind of like to hang out around. That's where they start crossing over. So I talked to Chief Grafton and let her know that, and she says, contact them about the safety issue and then let them know about the trespassers, and anytime that happens, to give her a call or give the
911.
yeah, and yes,
Posted for no trespassing?
You don't
Yeah.
have to.
yes, I do. And last year was as worse as it's been, and I've confronted them. It's always fun walking out in hip waders through the muck, confronting people with guns. And they basically tell me that they can do what they want because they're using the public doctrine, which that's not how it's written. And then I confront them, they say, all right, they leave. And then next morning, they were back there doing the same thing. So
Yeah, people don't. People.
Ask Jennifer if she can run that and if she can have Christina report to us at our
September 20th.
20th meeting.
Okay.
And I guess I would make the motion that we table this to our next meeting, waiting for the information from
Second.
Dane County.
Do you want me to do any checking on anything with the town attorney in the meantime?
Yes, and Dan should check to see what the spacing would have to be on no parking signs as to how many we would need, and then the cost would be.
What do you want me to ask the attorney exactly?
What we would have to do to draft that ordinance. And then could we, on the same one, include any of the other
Okay.
areas
We
that,
need to, yeah.
yeah, do it once to catch everything.
Okay.
Could we also inquire how soon the county could do it after we pass the ordinance? Because September 20th is getting close to the time you're talking about here with.
Actually, early goose starts Wednesday,
That's goose though. not duck.
and teal, and mourning dove, woodcock, and the list goes on.
Sounds like a rose.
Yeah, oh yeah, mourning dove. Unfortunately. Yeah, I didn't realize how early it was, so I just looked.
Other comment over.
May I make some comments?
Jane, please.
I'm Kathy Blomker. I live at 4454 Wind Chime Way. And the long parcel just north of Jansen's. This is the sign we put on trucks last year. This is a photograph of some of the hunters that have been out there, and they're on land. We had to do it last year. It's been building up, but last year was terribly egregious with trespassers on our land, taking shovels, digging out berms so that they can legally float from the creek into the flood and hunt. Those men are on the land. We hollered at them long enough. They got into their boats and paddled away. That's one of many, many circumstances. Because the worst of the trespassing problems,
Is this the creek here?
no, the creek is behind them.
Oh, further to the east?
Yeah, it's the creek is buried in the brush now. That's a
Okay.
whole nother issue with why the creek is smaller than the flood, but
That's on your land.
yes, our land goes, the creek goes halfway back through our property. Because this problem is building up and last year was so terrible, if you look back 5 years, you probably won't find accidents there. But one fatal accident on that corner, is that something that you want to risk?
Well, we can't use that term.
Okay,
You can't use that. 'Cause, you know,
okay, well, it's getting worse and worse.
That's got nothing to do with the guys that are parking there.
As far as the enforcement,
This is your drainage ditch here.
Yes, that's the
Going
canal. The ditch comes through here, and this is the bridge that we're talking about right here.
Okay,
This is Jansen's property. This
is
is-
this the drainage ditch that they were digging in?
No, they have been, Jerome's got photographs. They were digging on this, just on the other side of the creek. The berm on the other side of the creek to get back into the back flood.
They can't, I mean, that's not even legal, is it?
No, that's destruction of property. That's not legal. They can't come and dig away our berms.
No.
have
That's
you tried to
destruction.
get the DNR to do any enforcement? Because it's, it's hunting.
We have made many calls, and for illegal acts, it's the police department and the sheriff's department. And so we had to discover all this last year as all this was happening, and people are shooting, and you have little girls, and it was pretty frightening, and people got very confrontive, as Jerome was saying. So this year, we've already decided that if people are trespassing and we can see they're on, we know they have to keep their feet wet. We learned the rules. But if they're on our land, we're gonna be calling the police and the sheriff's department
Good.
every day.
Good.
But that isn't necessarily the best use of their time either. My point is,
It's the only way
Safety
to
reason-
get it across to them
yeah,
when they get that ticket.
yes.
They can't be trespassing.
Yeah, well, we certainly hope so. If,
Well, the other side of that is that that may also, if you keep doing that, stop them from parking there.
it's possible.
So I'm just saying, who's gonna go there? The cops are gonna pick them up every time they go there.
Signage would be a big add weight to that argument.
Funny, the DNR can't put signs there along the banks or something, or,
I spoke with a woman today, who was the local Dane County wildlife manager. Because on Baxter Road, at the creek, where the creek crosses Baxter, there are two signs. Let's see, where's our directions here?
You're facing south.
Right, so,
Baxter Road is there.
north-south.
right, so along Baxter Road up here, where the creek comes around this way,
Yeah.
there are two signs, one facing north, one facing west, that are signs that say leased, private property leased for public use. You may, by the DNR, and the landowner owner has leased their land so that people can hunt, trap, fish, bird watch. And then immediately to the south of that, so along Baxter Road, if I'm looking at those two signs, I'm looking east. Immediately to the south of those two signs is a nice big yellow DNR sign that says private property, no access. And so I called up and I said, can we get one of those signs here? Because this is all private property. None of that is public property,
Just the creek.
just the creek itself.
Yeah.
And not the creek bed, we found out. The riparian owner owns the rights to the creek bed that goes through their property. But she said, no, she said, that's because that leasing corner means that the property there is leased, but that sign says the property here is not. So stay off. But she said, we don't provide the service of posting creek crossings. So we did try that.
Interesting to me.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
Did you want these back?
I can take them, but you can keep them if they will be helpful.
Why don't you have the
Yeah,
clerk
that's good.
keep those?
Thank you for your attention to this. It's a pretty frightening matter in a lot of ways.
Now, how come you waited till, you had this problem last year? Why didn't you bring it to the town board before?
I think it was so all-consuming, we just kind of went poof, and that's on us.
There's a lot of,
Now, we probably have some kind of a,
There's just a lot of layers to go through to find the information, because it's really complicated and so many layers in this one, that it's a difficult one to put together. I think
but, we could have somebody come out here from DNR or something to discuss it at an open meeting,
yes. I can add something. It's just been, like Dick and Kathy said, there are so many layers and you don't know who to, it's even the same thing with this parking thing. The people trespassing is secondary to this, I believe, but it's just, there's so many layers. It took me a full day of contacting this person and they weren't sure. Contact this person. Well, they're not there. So they wait and they contact you. In the meantime, I'm contacting the sheriff. You don't know who's got authority or jurisdiction over this whole thing, or who wants to take it, who wants to do anything with it in terms of the trespassing. DNR has passed the buck on us enough times.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dane County's drainage board. It's just,
so give me this again now. They're parking on the south side, then they're going across on the other side.
so what they do is they park on the south side of Cottage Grove Road here.
Right.
And there's a culvert, a bridge, whatever you want. It's a small bridge, if that's what you want to call it, structure. And the creek goes here and here. And when they just get dumped down in here, and then they can go.
So they
this way.
can go through in a small duck boat or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, this is all laid over and the creek nothing's been done with that in a long time. And that's for Dane County's drainage board to worry about, maybe. But yeah, it's just, that's where they dump in. So they'll come in here, like I said, dawn, dusk, come out and it's just, do you want this much activity happening over there? It hasn't been bad. It wasn't bad 3 years ago. Last year, there was activity there every day during duck season the early season wasn't terrible because of so many mosquitoes, but the late season or the normal season, which is what, October 2nd through December 15th or whatever that season is. I mean, it was a 7-day job or 7 days a week job.
Was there a lot more water there last year?
Yeah, there was more water there. The last 3 years has been
Probably
like
one reason,
culminating effect of, water, COVID, you name it.
Yeah. Well, because there's how many gallons a day?
4 million gallons a day, I think.
Used to be
down
like
from
nothing.
Sunbury Sewer District.
And we've been working with them and they don't want to do anything about the problems, so.
We should work with the Dane County Drainage Board.
No, we don't get it. It just doesn't happen.
Understood. So, well, thank you for your time. I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. So,
Okay.
thank you.
We'll be back on the 20th. The motion was tabled and added additional information.
I don't know if you actually voted, I think. I might
No,
have
we haven't
interrupted you.
voted yet, I don't think. So to table, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider adoption of resolution 2021-8-30, committing $15,900 from Deer Grove EMS District unassigned general fund balance for the EMS organizational study and future needs analysis, and agreeing to pay back the town share with first annual assessment payment to Deer Grove EMS for 2022.
Move approval.
Okay, why are we doing this? Why are we having them pay us back?
Why?
The Deer Grove is paying the bill this year and we're paying back our share next year.
Okay, I understand now.
Because when we signed the agreement, we had to pay within 30 days.
Yes.
The first third of it.
Okay.
And so we have to take it out of unassigned funds.
Yep, but that
To
much.
do that, you have to have resolution from all three communities.
Got it.
The village is meeting on this also.
Second,
You second?
Yes.
motion by Williams, second by Anders to approve Town Board Resolution 2021-8-30, Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss fundraising ideas for Cottage Grove Community Foundation.
I actually had a meeting at the Chamber of Commerce with a member of,
That John Russell, was that?
yeah, well, he's the chair.
Yeah. He's the one that called me and asked me to come up, see if we had
And-
ideas.
And she was Carrie Robbins, I think is her name.
There's a, yeah. I
She
think
lives
that's
in
her.
the town. And she said that she wanted to bring some ideas forward. So there's someone there that we could ask. That she doesn't want to see it get bogged down in the politics of the situation. Because she says she knows that things are on edge with the village.
Well, the foundation shouldn't have anything to do with that
Well,
whatsoever.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
But that's what she's worried about.
Oh, geez.
So,
I mean, the first thing comes to my mind that they could do is do a fundraiser for new chairs for Flint Hall.
Could be.
that's something.
I mean, other than that, do we want them to raise money for a park shelter?
Well, I was thinking about that as well, or it depends on what we can do with those ARPA funds. You know, if we can't designate those for park shelters, why not, you know? Maybe she's got some friends with deep pockets.
Well, it seems to be a good idea for one of the two to come to our meeting.
Well, that's what I told her.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make any sense to say
This
the
was
village
just
is the
last
problem.
Thursday and she didn't know if, you know, I hadn't gotten the agenda yet. Because I didn't get the agenda till Friday, so I couldn't
But
even
there
tell
could
her.
be an idea that they have that we could
Yeah.
look at, you know?
Mhm.
I can mention it to John, or you can,
Or I could,
Yeah.
or just mention it to her. I could call her.
Call her and tell her to send them or come.
Yeah,
it'd be good for them to actually do a little briefing on this.
yeah, it would.
Because we have had this briefing at the American Legion, of course, he's a member, and we've discussed, and they need money. Besides, you know, they're looking for volunteer, you know, people to volunteer money for this thing.
Well,
I don't know how much they have.
Can
I
give
have
them
no
a
clue.
call.
I don't either.
I did send the agenda to Jen Russell, I think.
You did?
So,
Well, should we postpone this?
Yeah,
Let's
think so.
wait till the
20th and see if we
20th
can
of September and see if she
you
can come up with some
contact
ideas.
her and-
Or John Russell.
Or John Russell, or,
Yeah, they could come.
I can give him a call, or
Yeah.
give him, you can talk to the other lady there, obviously.
And we'll put it on for the 20th.
Are they online? Would any of them be online?
no, Stefan might be I don't know who that is.
not that I would recognize.
Eric Lang's probably in charge.
He's probably asleep.
Did you move to table or? do you want me-
I,
I'll move to table to September 20th.
second. Motion by Williams, second by Hampton. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Set date for public hearing regarding possible intergovernmental agreement with the city of Madison. Are we at a point where we want to do that or not?
We could. I don't know. He answered most of my questions.
I think it'd be good. He lives in Cottage Road. It seems like it'd be good if we do have one that
Have him come back.
have him come back just to sit and answer questions.
Do you want?
Assuming this would be a long meeting.
Yeah, good point.
And I'm assuming that you would want to probably mail invitations to everybody in the blue area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I know.
So I'm looking September 15th, there's a Dane County Towns meeting.
I don't know that I don't know that that's true.
Just keep in mind that if I'm gonna mail this, I'm leaving Thursday and I won't be back till the 14th. I don't have time to do that mailing before I go.
So we've got time. I mean, we can make it in October.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
have time to do that mailing tomorrow and Wednesday.
Well, first meeting in October, how about that?
Well,
Well, it'd have to be.
Separate.
And then different nights, I mean, other than,
separate.
How about the 6th?
We could do like September 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th.
Camp the 29th.
You're also gonna need to pick budget meeting dates, remember, in that time frame.
Yeah, we aren't gonna have a budget, are we?
Just
What
wing it.
about October 6th?
Board of Review that night.
I don't have that on my calendar.
October 5th or 7th.
October, what did you say, Board of Review? I don't think that was right. I thought it was the 26th.
I'd written
Oh, yeah.
down October 6th is what we had for Board of Review.
26th.
20, I have it down for the 26th on my
26th?
calendar.
Okay. So you'd have October 5th, 6th, 7th,
any of those
What day is
dates
the
are
7th
fine
then?
with me.
Thursday. Tuesday, the 5th. The 4th is our board meeting.
Thursdays are good for me.
Wednesdays are better, Thursday's bad.
There is,
No, well, we don't need you there then.
there is, hold on just a second here. Let me pull up the calendar.
Wednesdays are okay too, actually.
Can't get the screen that I need. Come on.
Or even a little later in the month, in October.
I'd rather do it earlier.
Ready?
We're gonna have to do budget towards the end of the month. Somewhere.
Wednesday, the 6th would work.
October 6th will work for everybody. It's a
Let me
Wednesday.
just make sure there's nothing in conflict if I can ever get to the calendar.
Let's see what the.
The 6th should be okay.
Yeah, the 5th is mitigation strategies.
So we're on the 6th.
So Wednesday, the 6th?
7 o'clock.
Got it.
And you said border review was the 26th.
Yeah,
What time are we starting that?
7. So we'll set the public hearing for October 6th, 7 PM.
So I'll confirm with Brian Grady first that he can come.
Sure. But they have not dealt with the village at all yet on this.
They've
that what I
talked to
got
them,
here?
They haven't gotten anywhere like we didn't get anywhere.
Yeah.
Didn't we have to make that decision on that fire truck tonight?
We did it last time.
Is there a motion? Set
To what?
for the October 6th.
Well, I move that we set the public hearing for regarding a possible intergovernmental agreement with the city of Madison for Wednesday, October 6th, if Brian Grady is able to attend
7 p.m.
at 7 p.m.
Second,
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider approval of per diem payments to the National Hazard Mitigation Steering Committee's citizen members.
What I did discussing with Kim there would be to, like we did the last minutes, or not minutes, but the, saying the meeting's gonna happen, that we made it the emergency government / committee.
Yeah.
And that until this thing is done, we have the meetings when there's the Zoom meetings are going on and as necessary.
So then the only thing that still isn't covered is if they watch a Zoom meeting outside, if they don't come to the meeting, but they watch one of the other Zoom presentations, are they gonna get a per diem?
Yeah, you have the option of watching it, and of course, Randy works at American Family, but he did do the Zoom meeting, then he sent us his interpretation of what we thought we should do. So it seems to me that he put as much effort in as, the committee did, in a way.
I would make the motion that we approve per diem payments for the citizen members of emergency government doing the Natural Hazard Mitigation Steering Committee.
Second.
Motion by Hampton, second by Williams. Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public
Our
Works,
first meeting was on equity. That's got a lot to do with mitigation, but then the next one was on global warming.
uh-oh. There gonna be,
Just
any-
thought I'd throw that out.
there gonna be any disagreement?
I don't know. I was trying to wonder why we were doing both of them, but
Public Works Department activity update, report on ditch contouring on Score Road.
Yeah, we'll talk about that first. I just wanted to bring that up because we never ever officially said anything at a meeting. Like we said we were gonna do it, but that is done. So we contoured Score Road. We got rid of the field drive, the old field drive that was there. Ditched that, so all the water now runs down to the culvert on the corner and goes into the road to the ponds. So that is finished and finalized. We did touch up gravel on the dead end portion, but we'll check that again before winter, just to touch it up if it needs it. So that is officially done. Road work is completed. On Thursday, they completed Bone Sack finally. Took a while, but the trucks coming in and broke down a paver and everything else. It took a little while, but they are done. We got to shoulder the roads and center stripe the roads yet. Truck number 1 that we use as shoulder has been a shop for a week. It's been starting really hard. We kind of thought maybe it was glow plugs, but ended up being the EGR valve and cooler. So that is under warranty, but they are fixing it, and I'm getting the front brakes done on that truck as well. So once that's back, it should be back tomorrow, we hope. I talked to the guy today, and it sounded like they had somebody on it all day today, so it should be back tomorrow, hopefully. And other than that, we're continuing to mow parks and everything else day to day, and we're gonna start cutting trees here soon again, roadsides. Once it starts cooling down again.
Happy with the road work that was done?
I think it looks good. I mean, besides it took them a little longer just because they're hauling from Fitchburg versus the east side of Madison. Other than that, I think the work looks really good. What they did, seal coat, the chip seal turned out really well, I think. I think that looks really good. I mean, I don't know if you guys have driven on.
It was hot.
Yeah, I don't know if you've driven on Ridge Road. That's the longest stretch we did a chip seal. That in Nora and South Jargo, that looks really good. So,
I think they did a great job on our subdivision. I have lots of pictures on my phone if anybody's interested in seeing them.
yeah, it was a tough one down in there. They said just getting the trucks down in there, and then because it's so tight down in there, the older roads are a lot narrower. So
Yeah, let's draw this update.
Well, can I mention something about the roads? I talked to Dan about this today because I've had more people talk to me about the across from the park.
Babcock.
Park down there. of Vilas, how terrible that road is. And, you know, I want to know for sure what we own there, because everybody's going, Jesus Christ, you're not taking care of the roads and whatever. This isn't our fault, but that road's got to be fixed. I mean, I know the village, he's talked to the village, whatever, and Coffee Town is a piece of crap besides, and, you know, Jesus. What our
Street.
main roads are great, you know, you get past Coffee Town, the road's great. But I mean, that road is terrible.
Yeah.
But they'll put in a bike path on Clark Street.
I mean, we got a couple options we could do too that would save money and save the village money too. I mean, because they're gonna be partnering on us. We could do a wedge and seal coat it right away. You could do a wedge with an overlay, so then you don't have to pulverize. Because if I remember it, Jeff said that the section on Coffee Town by Landmark got rebuilt at one time to handle the heavier trucks.
I think it did when they put in that whole pump area, that new addition.
That was about 10 years ago, I think. 10 or
Okay.
12 years ago.
So I mean, like that section especially, you could probably overlay that and it'd look great probably for another 20 years. You know, but beyond that, you almost have to wedge or pulverize to get it to look decent.
I say if the village doesn't want to do their half, we'll do our half.
Isn't that crazy that we'd have to
But
do it
then we'll
like
end
that?
up with another Vilas Road there, and Vilas Road's breaking up or starting to crack.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
violence is
Yeah,
terrible.
where they did their half and we're driving over in our half. Oh, it's fine, but no, it's not. It's
Yeah.
starting to look and drive like crap.
Yeah, our half looks good. We patched it all up, but yeah, their side not so much.
And most people think it's our road,
Yeah. they-
Sure.
they
And
do.
because it always was.
Same with
I don't know what we,
Taylor.
We do
Ask
want it.
them to put it in for their work projects for next summer, and if you don't, I'm not gonna pay to redo their
no,
portion.
we can't do that.
No.
But,
I'll do mine.
But it'd be good for the people in the village
But how do we
to
know
why
it's
that
not gonna
road
get
is
an
not
X
good.
next year?
We don't.
I know that. That was kind of a rhetorical question. You know, given all the activity over in that part.
Yeah, it's crazy to have that road so terrible.
I mean,
All
we
the
could,
money that's been put into that.
we could wedge and chip seal our side and then that'd make it look great for another 15, 20 years. And then you're not building the road up with a 2-inch overlay. You're just wedging it, you're profiling it, and then you're putting a good hard surface with the chip seal on it right away. I mean, it'd help it last and then you wouldn't have to do all the grinding and all the other stuff to it.
And most people look at that and go, oh, that's pretty stupid to do half of a road on one side.
Well, I told Dan to tell the
Yeah,
village, we're gonna do ours next year.
I think
You have to
it's
decide
gotta,
if you're gonna do yours or
Yeah.
not.
I've been
It
told it's
seems
not,
like
even-
all the outlying roads they could care less about.
yeah, they don't care.
Right.
I was told it's not on their 5-year plan.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so
So then I'd say we go ahead and do it.
Do
Our share.
Our share, our half the road. Make our half look nice and then just tell anyone that, hey, that's the village.
we did ours. Village didn't wanna do theirs.
They don't plan on doing anything to it for another 5 years.
Sealing it would be the easier,
Yeah,
than trying to lay asphalt off.
yeah, well, the wedging would be asphalt.
Yeah,
You know, you
right.
fill
Oh, yeah.
you fill all your voids in
Yeah,
and then
sure.
you chip seal it.
Yep.
So you wouldn't build the road up a lot.
No.
You just kind of fix
You're
filling
fix
in the
bad
cracks.
spots. Yep.
Smoothing it out.
I mean, you could wedge it one year and chip seal it the next, or you could do it all in one year too. You could have the guys come in and wedge it early in the year and then have it chip sealed later.
Do it all in one year.
Yeah, and then do it all at once. I mean, wedging is expensive, but it's fairly cheap when you look at rebuilding the road or anything
But
like
it's gotta
that.
be done.
Yeah.
It's just too bad we end up with half a road.
Yeah.
Are we moving on?
Yep.
Clerk's report.
I don't really have anything.
Have you heard anything from the county on redistricting?
No. Haven't.
And when do we have to have ours done?
Well, the county has to be done first.
Right.
And then I think we have 60 days or something.
there's some information that came across through the Towns Association that there are a couple of individual groups that are concerned about the disenfranchised people aren't being given an opportunity to provide input or the tools to provide input into helping shape the new districts. And the Towns Association was asked to, I don't want to say make a stand, but take a position as to how this is going to happen, but the Towns Association just referred it back to the redistricting committee, of which there's 2 people from the towns that represent towns on it.
Right.
I mean,
So much time.
and these people who did this, my take on it is the fact that they just think, oh yeah, here's a map, start drawing lines around and stuff, and here you go.
Come out with the right amount of people.
Well, yeah,
Sense.
and so, yeah. That's what's kind of out there, the latest thing that's out there on this whole thing.
Do you have any idea if next year we'll have to spend any money on our voting machine equipment?
They haven't gotten back to me. I was going to look into what the cost is for Badger books, but I don't have any answers yet. That would be the only thing you could consider, upgrading to those at some point. I don't know.
I wondered if there was going to be a software update.
Oh, those, we've got maintenance agreements that cover all that.
Okay.
Yeah, there always is. There's always something that they have to be all taken in for, system checks and upgrades, yeah.
Okay. Board reports and communications, I don't have anything. Committee reports, Deer Grove EMS. Got rid of the old ambulance finally.
Oh, really?
The old 79's gone, our old 80, I mean, is gone.
It was towed last week finally.
It was towed?
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Minnesota.
Really? But it was towed?
Yeah.
What's the matter with it? Front, was it ball joints or something, or some kind of?
We don't know why it wouldn't run, but we weren't putting any more money in it.
No. Eric's still on there.
We got $5,000 for it.
Oh, Eric's still here. Yeah, we don't know what was wrong with it or why it was.
We met once for bargaining, still back at the union's hands now.
The study has been started. Everyone that's on the EMS commission said they were interested in talking to the people. So Eric gave them our contact information. I've not heard anything.
Me either.
I do have a question. What do we know about the appraisal associates that are supposed to be giving us the updated appraisal on the town of Cottage Grove? Have you had any?
They came to my house.
Did they?
Yeah, they've
They're
been
just doing
running.
it.
They just put a little sign on the door.
Really?
Yeah.
They haven't been by my house yet.
No.
When's board of review?
26.
October 26th.
But the
Open
open
book?
book,
Likely book is September 20 something.
Yeah.
September 22nd.
Yeah.
So it's really 3 weeks away.
I'll have to be mailing notices soon.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna go in.
They
No,
didn't want to come into the house.
Originally, that was
Oh, they
the
didn't want
plan.
to, okay,
But
so.
then with COVID, we,
I'll check with Nick tomorrow and see when the notices are going out.
we haven't done notice on our door.
Yeah, we put one on.
Emergency government,
Oh, nothing more than what we talked about.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
motion by DePlay, second by Williams, non-debatable, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Dan, did you see I got maps for you? From DOT,
Yeah, let's see that in the mailbox.
you have to go through those.
Road rating, right?
Huh?
Road rating this year, right?
Grade level.